Hey y'all, it's Kim. So this is part 27 of the JFK files. This may go pretty fast because some of the documents are illegible. So anyway, we can see Mexico City, Bogota, Lima, Guatemala, and then JM Wave. And then it's like Grace Humes, maybe, P.O. Box 1767, Coral Gables, Florida. This is 4th of December of 1963 is what it looks like right here. That's in the message, and nothing much else there. And this is for Mexico. Something about Watanabe is the last name. I can't see the first. Mrs. K or Mr. K Suzuki, Trans-Pacific Commerce Consultants, Suite 31545 or 450 Sutter Street, San Francisco, California, and then telephone Douglas is 2-6534. End of message. Let's see. So this is to Paris. Let's see. And I'm not sure what this other one is. To director or from the director. So Donald Emerson, maybe, North American Secretary. And then Raul Avila, Latin American Secretary, and then end of message. Let's see. This went to a bunch of different ones. From the director, this is maybe the 7th of December, 63. Action intended, paragraph 2, reference was unattributable. Something about surfacing via media. Do not desire at this time to make direct or indirect overtures to local officials or governments in this connection. And in the message requested at ease to consider surfacing any information or evidence Castro financing terrorist and pro-Cuban acts, etc. Let's see, this is Mexico City, 19th of December, maybe 63. And then please be advised that Sambora legend completed and all pertinent papers pouched to HQ, subject 12212, directed to apply for Mexico visitors visa. End of message. Please add CWH to distribution. And then Jesus Pineda Carrera. And then there's a 201 number, 297754. Okay. So this is maybe Manuel Aragon. And then to Paris. Info to Mexico City, 5th of December, maybe 63. Oh, yeah. And then, let's see, for Mexico HQs, the reference said, oh, man, this sucks. Let's see. Controlled something acceptable as host. See, these aren't very, okay. Meeting was blamed FEUU for failure to hold event and told CONSEC or COSEC to seek another site. Full summaries at HQ's Understanding Latin American Studies Seminar. I guess LASS tactics discussed with Cobo Nilos. I don't know. First step, regardless whether LASS ultimately held in seizing initiative on site in order to honor subcom, I don't know, decision and offset possible invitation from unfriendly sites. Yeah, these are not very good. Let's see what this next one. Okay, enough coordination with UFUCH, I don't know, to avoid their activity or active hostility, LASS and COSEC, and prevent forcing them into closer alliance with extremists on other WH, I don't know. Likelihood that LASS can be useful. Form of expression. democratic views on social, economic questions and development groundwork necessary for ISC tactics. Event does not conflict with Mexico Station operations. LASS should not be held if all or any paragraph 3 conditions fail pertain, and also if early evidence. Yeah, I can't read this stuff. Something about assuming boycott. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I think some of it was redacted, and then some of it's just like not very good copy. I'm not gonna even try. Let's see. So this it says priority book cable. There are indications that excellent exploitation, most areas having beneficial effect, and that high interest created among people is encouraging and or causing some governments to adopt stronger something anti-Venezuela position in OAS maybe, or excuse me, pros looks like PRO right here, and view this suggests add activities concentrate primarily but not exclusively this aspect, i.e. efforts to demonstrate to local governments that public opinion is in favor of Venezuelan position of taking firm stand against Castro, emphasize that current issue before OAS raised by sister republic, victim of Soviet and Chicom supported aggressor, implication being that Odie Yoke playing no more than supporting role, continue use, no coexistence with um, Castro, and theme consider having labor, student, other orgs send telegrams to local governments and OAS in support of Venezuelan position, follow up by publicizing telegrams in press via media, speculate what steps local government might favor in support of Venezuela, including breaking diplomatic relations with Cuba by all Latin American countries, curtailment of economic relations, all possible communications break, cooperative surveillance, something about Cuban carriers, maybe outgoing Cuban carriers, and where their reluctance, resistance, or reluctance attack Castro political grounds, and suggests U.S. something that Castro's exporting or revolutionary a revolution overtaken by newer export commodity, namely crime. I don't know. This is exemplified by acts of arson, destruction of property, murder, kidnapping, etc., and that Cuba training of so-called revolutionaries from throughout the hemisphere, nothing more than school for crime for most. Okay, so these are basically some of the countries they sent that to, advise what action taken up, and end of message. It's secret. Okay, so this is Mexico City. Hence desire life act coverage on identity A as soon as practical, since he believed local case officer, if necessary to effect coverage on identity, station may suspend coverage AMSES 1, but prefer to maintain both. Please renew the 2 post boxes serviced by, yeah, some of this is hard to read. Please save, I don't know. These are not easy to read. Received your kind letter, but no money. This is Julio Rodriguez. Return addressee to him, Julio Rodriguez something. Okay, 2 more. So, book cable, and this is director. December is 46th anniversary of founding of Soviet State Security Organization. This something birthday is traditionally celebrated by KGB residences around the world by discreet gathering in embassy or other official installation or in home of resident or other residential member. On previous occasions, some stations have been able to make new identifications or to confirm previous tentative identifications on basis of attendance. This party suggests addressees mount unilateral surveillance and or alert liaison services to this date as appropriate and in the message. Okay, and then they basically, I guess, send them to all of these locations. And then I certify this cable must go to all stations and bases. Okay, so secret. This one has 4 pages, and this is the last one in this section because these are hard to read. The 19th of December of 20 or 63. And then from director or to the director, maybe. And then it went to like all these locations. Okay, Reuters and AP report from Moscow, 18th of December, that approximately 500 African students gathered at Ghana embassy, fought their way past police barricades, and marched to Kremlin to protest alleged killing of Ghana student Asero Adeo. Students carried placards, "Stop Killing Africans," skull and crossbones labeled "Russian Friendship," "Friends Today, the Devil Tomorrow," and "Moscow is Second Alabama." Ew. Student delegation presented memo to Ministry of Higher Education charging our freedom being threatened here because students are being beaten in different parts of Soviet Union, and one was killed recently in Kalinin. I don't know. I can't see what that one is. And then we want the police to take stronger action. Soviet officials claim Adeo died of exposure while intoxicated. Students believe he's killed by a Russian because he wanted to marry a Russian girl. Using wire service, FBI source placed students' action along lines. Okay, incidents is evidence of racist attitudes, and despite Soviet propaganda report, something, oh, shoot, you can't read the rest of this. It says under by the students to recent Congo expulsion of Soviet diplomats as another facet of Soviet long-range plans to dupe, even take over naive African states by means of subversion, student indoctrination and control, economic aid with political strings, and then see biweekly guidance 719 for further action and background. Watch student groups for demonstrations, articles, and public statements for replay. Interview communist trained students and government officials, educators for reaction, and then send clips to the HQs, and then coordinating offices or officers and all these people working together. Oh, anyway, that was 27 of the JFK files. Anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.